呢個封面個畫面係咪隨機嘅咧？啊！佢之前斷線，我 upload 翻，upload 咗好耐，upload 咗50分鐘。點玩啊？嗰、個迷宮，真係迷宮嚟嘅。唔知點解唔使做多次嘅行呢個獨木橋。玩呢度開始，我點知下一個係咩？
I saw this symbol in the tunnels underneath the Frigidarium.
齊唔齊㗎呢個？Initiation breeze，要明。要明。差樣嘢嚟，真係唔知之後，我真係唔知之後去邊。我當由底開始計啦。
I saw this symbol in the tunnels underneath the Frigidarium.
極到巨型喎！依家迷宮。嚟嘅呢隻。 呢符號有冇關係 ？Stop。有咩特別啊？呢度嘢？佢鎖匙去邊㗎喎？係咪一樣蟲啫？又再重啲。呢個都係再重啲。呢個最重。點咧？我諗要5個都放實咯。邊度嚟嘅？我希望有一個符號係啱。會再擋？唉，巨型嘢都迷宮。或者半月，有冇行過嘅呢啲路？一號，一號。好鬼秘密，有啲恐怖。
Which way should we go, Holmes?
I don't know. 左定右？未行完，未行完到呢度。啲聲喺左邊嚟嘅， 可能完全係連埋一齊，基本係連埋一齊，唔知有冇陷阱？佢成日向前跑，都係向呢個錯嘅方向跑。係咩嚟？竟然呢度有個地方崩塌咗，咁可能有啲秘密係永遠消失。如果冧咗嘅話，無啦啦變咗 treasure hunter， 斟啲水先。
Are we inside the hidden temple of Mithras, Holmes? Look, it's the golden knife. But how to get it? Are we inside the hidden temple of Mithras, Holmes?
有人嚟過。
This lamp is not old. The oil is still fresh. Perhaps Sir Rodney passed by here.
No, I do not think so. Remember, he went no further than the catacombs underneath the Frigidaria. The murderer left this lamp. Watson, I need your help.
Okay. 冇嘢講，講唔到嘢。我至少兩個人先解到嘅，因為佢冇其他能力可以用 ，Watson 好慘啊！ 係兩個人嚟啫，一個人有幾多聰明才智都做唔到呢樣嘢。
The golden knife of Mithras. A long-lost relic has resurfaced. Watson, it is time to conclude this case. Excellent. Now, we should find another way of getting out of here.
係明明中東同羅馬嘅宗教點解最後佢哋所倫敦嘅咧？呢樣嘢我覺得佢要推理完成嘅話係要齊所有嘢，係要將所有嘅線索聯繫起身，根據前兩次嘅經驗，所以係有啲可疑嘅呢個結論，同埋都係有嘢解釋唔到嘅。 都係個碌啊，係有嘅。
This mechanism seems inactive. Most likely the door it controls has already been opened.
Alright.
Are we inside the hidden temple of Mithra?
.解釋唔到，所有嘢都要解釋嘅而家。所有嘢都要串連起身。嗰嚿銀係乜鬼嚟嘅？佢入邊啊？
We don't have many leads here.
Yeah.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. When Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself.
唯一有血係佢。呢啲筆呢？筆有冇關係？
A fountain pen with solid gold trim.
決定唔到而家，死啊！
Do you have something else to ask me? Do you have something else to ask me?
I'm trying to rest. I'm not sure that I can be helpful at the moment.
Do you have something else to ask me?
murderer 去過，邊個係啊？
An unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which result. According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted. The coroner observed no stomach.
咁點解係密室呢？
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
應該唔係之前個死者。我車嗰單案應該冇死者，呢個可能係彼得強。有啲難度今次。
Mr. Holmes? All these events are bad for the baths. And my job.
An ice bucket to keep the champagne chilled.
I 覺得應該唔係冰做啦，咁鬼熱呢度。
The grid cannot be removed.
呢嚿冰放一陣都溶晒啦。邊個啊？呢個得人嘅。
One lens is cracked. These lenses are for myopia. 你都幾犀利喎
Mr. Holmes?
着住全套制服企喺度。哦，佢原本有眼鏡嘅。點解係密室呢？武器又解決咗啦，仲唔知一個可能性。 It was a fire burning all night。呢個係確保個火夠熱嘅。個香檳係 Rod 帶嚟，咁唔係兇手帶嚟。可能係呢個，可能係呢個。酒店。但係嗰個主人個動機係最少嘅。而且個空氣係喺個發掘現場嘅，咁同個主人應該冇關係。係咯，點解要喺度做？paranoid，所以覺得個密室呢個謎仲未解決。今次真係好有推理。 個推理元素非常重。佢喺 Egypt 見過佢嘅，Rodney 張相入面嗰個人係咩人？有好多線索，我係未組織到。Particular ideas of archaeology。哦，我懷疑佢驚，可能佢驚佢將嗰把金色匕首據為己有。呢個呢個就有啲奇怪。我諗佢嘅證供唔可靠，因為佢有幻覺。Saw him with red coins, gold coins. Didn't help. The power is too strong. Ah. Ah.啊，係佢放係嘛？佢將啲羅馬啲人揼實，咁唔係人做嘅呢個。OK OK OK。It didn't help。咁佢唔 expect 有單命案，我諗。The test that we perform this on 啊，係嗰個蒸氣系統。應該係依個人想偷 Rodney 嘅食果啊！Okay.我覺得今次冇咩理由 absolve。
I'm feeling rather uncomfortable. Why have I been put into these cuffs?
I fear that you had better get used to them, Mr. Blinkhorn. They are your reward for the murder of Sir Rodney Bentcliffe.
What? No, that's a lie.
It is regrettable, for you are a talented archaeologist. I will request that you are placed in a prison where you are unable to dig an escape tunnel. That is, of course, if they decide that you shall live.
You...
The consulting detective who salutes your intelligence in performing the perfect crime, yes. But also the gentleman who detests your motivation.
You know nothing.
You wish to be the one who would reveal this to the world.
Is that the golden knife? How...
I also like to dig, you see. I only followed your trail. Such a pity that there is always someone willing to steal your credit, wouldn't you say? And there was the chance of a lifetime. You had to take it. It was not to be shared.
It...
But now I am here, and there is no one who will stop the tread of justice, Mr. Blinkhorn. Goodbye.
應該啱。耶！sympathizing。仲有 moral choice 呢個系統係幾得意嘅，即係除咗查案之外，仲要諗點樣解決。睇下佢嘅 achievement 係咩嚟。
The game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come.
今次扮演 Watson。
I'll wait for you in the sitting room. I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade, a letter from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Stream 緊先。Silver Knight。鬼嚟㗎呢個，咩時間都係綁住我。
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
第三位獎。 table.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look. The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
A wax seal with the monogram E.B.
What's that?
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter. The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
Most remarkable case.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the E.B. monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
華生表示，佢哋想瞓覺。啲貴族嘅府邸嚟嘅應該。但喺南邊唔係白金漢宮。
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you had best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
肯定另有內情你肯定有人想，你肯定有人會入嚟呢啲咁呢啲大人物入面偷嘢。
Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
套路
Sir Warthen Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall. Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
邊個係死嗰人？
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
嗰個係
The Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
austere。Sophia was strict in manner, attitude or appearance，個個都好奇怪佢哋個樣，紅色眼，乜個個都係咁樣。
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
咁咪邊係啊？
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
好靚喎呢個人，呢啲咁明顯嘅嘢，都係要咁，有化妝。呢個妝唔係19世紀啲妝嚟嘅，唔好意思係21世紀嘅妝嚟嘅。Kangaroo。睇唔到啊！睇唔到啊喂！梗係一嚟緊啦，係唔使講明。有新有舊。全部係。全部係。啊？個地氈食，喂，咩嚟㗎呢個？
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
後宮有啲年紀，可能50幾60歲，真係冇咩特別。頂，我都睇唔到。哦，佢嘗試救阿老爺。
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw three men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
咁短嘅你。
My mistress is very tired. Can't you allow her to her room?
Jack Randall.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Okay.樓下嗰3個人係扮嘅，有啲難。
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
俾人哋拆穿人啲嘢，幾好。
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
你都就係為咗嫁人。
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it. This is...
我覺得唔係好應該問。係嘢。
The body is still in the dining room where the murder took place.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
The hunting scene. So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries. You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. You should...
The head was cracked with the force of the blow. That must be the murder weapon.
Anything else?
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon. Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me. A fur trader's cabin.
The death was instant. This house feels rather sinister. I can't say that I like it here.
A trapper's hut. A trapper's hut. A trapper's hut. Antique hunting weapons. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
咩叫 B string？ B string, a theme of shining scales of tartar formed in port and some other wines after long.
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
Okay. 即係兩支酒度攞出嚟。
Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed.
咩叫 decant？ 好多茶銀紙食我都冇。Gradually pour a liquid, typically wine or a solution, from one container into another, especially without disturbing the sediment.
This case is a simple one, isn't it, Holmes? The death was instant. The death was instant.
A deer hunt. A fur trader's cabin.
周圍都係啲動物，啲屍首。習慣嘅人係覺得幾恐怖。佢有隻熊，呢度有隻熊。
The hunting scene.
有隻地下嗰啲。
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail.
Hey,
I will take it with me.
Toby 有份，會快 Toby。
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
就睇完。係。
A bottle of wine is missing here. These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
3個人冇理由偷咁少嘢。
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
你都可以話佢殺完人之後驚咗所以走。未必解釋唔通。
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Alright. What else? 人低度得發現啦。喺度門原來走返出嚟。
I've searched outside for footprints without any luck.
你要靠 Toby 先揾到㗎。好懸疑嘅呢個音樂，好似恐怖遊戲。秋天。應該有嫌疑嘅係佢夫人同埋佢個女僕啦。可能個女僕喺船上面學識點樣打嗰個拳。應該揾完 Toby 先開到呢度。劇情鎖。啲樹個形狀都好奇怪下。有嘢應該遲早有用。Alright。明有咩衝突？佢話有衝突啦，總之。
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Someone...
Someone 在現場得2個人啫，就係我啦。
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts. I agree.
個妓女個鬼嚟㗎，點解會望住呢度？會驚開始。
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original. My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
唔使試其他嘢，我以為刀係可能最低嗰個。
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is
Someone should...
A map? Search, Toby.
好似隻狗。真係有趣，佢係咁。整一個遊戲控制 Watson 都好。
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware. The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
What else?我冇揾晒所有嘢。點啊？
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
人都唔見埋。
Brave Toby. The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route. Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
What's it? What's it? 喺另一間房，正常都唔想喺，正常都唔想喺一個屍體嘅房。樓樓。
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship?
Oh, what a horror.
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
Where's what's it? 未查完個屍體嘅房。
A hunter scene.
Hi.
This hook might be useful. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
係落低啲人。
The bucket can be easily removed. Silverware? This is hardly a coincidence. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware. Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much she deserves some rest.
呢間房舒服舒適好多。
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
What's next?
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
What's next?
Let us try to open this safe.
Okay.
This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
This is crazy. confirm 嘅事件。
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. Antique coins. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
hepatic 肝臟嘅病變，因為佢飲太多酒。abscesses ，cirrhosis 係咩？某種肝病啦，肝硬化之類啦，唔知費事查到底係咩？OK。return new。呢個係咩？咗。 condition may pose a risk to others. Beyond.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Got me. 呢個已經係 future case，好細呢單案，出奇地細。邊個係 Mrs. Wright？
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her. Please leave.
Oh, what a horror.
Rock of what？ 因為出現嘅嗰個字眼。 仲有一個人未見到喎，喂，喺邊嚟嘅？應該最後一個人。
Holmes, don't look at me like that. I don't know what to think about all this.
我而家去邊？邊啊？而家要？我神係冇跟住你嘅今次。
What should we do next, Holmes?
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
我真係想，有冇人講 telescope 呢個問題？The lady in the telescope scares me. What? Easter egg 嚟，照佢所講。會 Mary Fraser。
Here it is. The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Why will人哋偷呢？自己去咁簡單嘅事都唔做，要人做啲大嘢。
Wiggins, would you come upstairs, please?
永遠都喺佢樓下。
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
咁快？
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
神
I left it right on the table for you, sir.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
OK，因為係船員嚟嘅，咁所以因為船員嚟嘅，咁所以好可能係喺海外嘅。
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and
Henry 唔喺度啊 ，Henry Woods 唔喺度。有都唔喺度啊。有都唔喺度。剩翻3個 Jack Thomas Herbert。呢個未走嘅依家。又未返。Thomas 同 Herbert。
this list shows the senior officer.
點咁
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
OK。
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer is still at sea. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. This list... Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him. Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
佢唔嚟啊！ Honest.隻手竟然冇嘢。要熱俾佢。咩都乾淨，好可見。
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Shark. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
係咪失敗咗？
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
佢失敗咗啊！
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
我應該失敗咗先。我都覺得淨係嗰條繩足夠係話佢，足夠指證佢。我揀呢個咧。驗屍嗰段嘢咧。去啦。
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this. You should have let me die. How can I live if Mary suffers?
I am sorry, Captain Crocker, but there has been quite enough death in this case. Inspector, I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
我條褲背後甩咗線，搞咗好耐都搞唔掂，除非我除咗佢哋先。Anyway， 今日解決咗2單案，第2單案好鬼短。Neutral， 點解啲人唔指證佢？太容易啦呢單案。
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, how ever did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
有咩好查咧？偷咗啲植物，我想知。定好鬼簡單啊！之前玩我做乜鬼嘢？
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent. My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
半年前。係咯，我仲以為警察放過咗佢添。喺邊度？
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Why?
What are we doing, Holmes?
Let us find someone who could help us.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer, and without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favour for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens, and that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glasshouse. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, But I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
都係有謀殺案嘅，其實。
What should we do next, Holmes?
save 咗未啊？俾佢。呢個套 save 系統好鬼麻煩。啊，都係近期嘅。